What's going on, everybody? Anon here, and I just did a video about Pokemon Center ETBs a week ago, and there has been so much absolute batshit crazy movement in the last couple days. I felt the need to do this just so we can bring it to everybody's attention, and so I'm not going to go through every single line item. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time because, quite honestly, it's late. I'm tired. I have to be up early, and I don't want to spend 30 minutes on uploading video and checking and all that stuff. So let's hit the main ones here real quick. So Paldea Evolved, it's up to 400 from 365. There's been a little bit of sell through in this one. I still think it is a little bit on the cheap side. The promo hasn't moved. It's still sub $100 in your mint. But quite honestly, I do think the regular ETB is better value, just at 105. Obsidian Flames, another buyout here. There's 11 left on the market. $745, up from $475 a week ago. So somebody went in, bought a bunch of these. They're gone. You've lost your chance on this one. It's bye-bye. And we're going to see a bunch of these where it's getting close to being to the point where you're not going to have any shot at buying these. So Paldean Fates, from 361 to 488. This is going to be the $500 booster box ETB. So this is going to be the third ETB to cross $500. It's just a matter of time, and this is the final set of the third, quote unquote, of Sword and Shield that's going to rotate out. Now, I will mention in April 2027, when the middle third rotates out, it is going to be temporal through prismatic evolutions. So as you start thinking about prismatic evolutions and when is the right time to start to accumulate a position, it will be the set that is in print the shortest amount of days within the set. It doesn't mean they're going to print less. It just means the opportunity to print more and more product is going to be less relative to any other set within the H block, which is the block that is going to rotate out, I believe. So moving on, Stellar starting to recover here. Again, there was a bunch of these that were sold at Nationals, I believe it was, in New Orleans. Pushed the price from 150 down to 124. Now we're back to 135. Some good value here, surging up to 228. The Magneton's getting bought out. It's starting to move at this point. Surging on the PC ETB side is not coming back. Now it is on the regular ETB side. We'll talk about it a little bit later. Prismatic, this was down almost at 250, at one point sub 250. You can see here it's finally recovered back to where it was in April. So it is sitting right around its all-time high again. There's still some volume, some supply in the market, but it's going crazy. Nothing else on the sealed side that really moves the needle. But moving to the promos, and again, I mentioned this over the last couple weeks. The promo buyouts are back, and the video I did 2 nights ago was talking about how, with everybody going back to school and vacations being over, people are now focused on Pokemon again. So the slow summer is now over, and things are going to start to pick up. I actually had a comment or two in the video saying, why are high school kids now spending money on $2,000 boxes? And I totally missed my opportunity to say, fourth grade crypto bros go ham on Pokemon. But it's the parents, guys. Like that was a fucking stupid comment. So anyway, Charmander 224 up 28%. Another buyout there. Snorlax up 9% to 192. The Mimikyu, the lowest listing right now is $80. This one got taken out, quite honestly, with the ETB at $500. Having a promo at $39 doesn't make any sense. $80 is closer. Quite honestly, this should be probably in the 150 range, just based on the value of the ETB and the fact that it's a pretty damn cool card. So 5 available on the market. I would anticipate this is going to start to repopulate at some point. And when it does, that will be your opportunity to acquire some. If it doesn't, then we know that supply is really starting to dry up. And I know the Mimikyu's been hit a couple times over the last 6 months. So it's going to be super interesting to see how much of how much of this is still out there. There's really nothing left on eBay last I checked. We have the 5 on TCG Player, and I went to a show last weekend, and I don't go to shows often, but I wanted to go. And quite honestly, I was looking for PSA 10 Snorlax because I don't have one. I just figured, what the hell, I'll take a look, and didn't find one. But I didn't see a single Mimikyu there, and quite honestly, the Pokemon Center promos, there was maybe 1 or 2 of each of these there. It was not a whole heck of a lot. And again, it could have been the quality of the show, but there were some legit stores. It wasn't just a bunch of folks who bought a bunch of stuff at retail stores and waited 6 months and they're trying to resell it. It was folks that had some older stuff that had some value to it. So not a statistically significant data point, but a data point nonetheless. Moving on, my favorite Petrunt still sitting at $16. I will buy all of these one day and probably be very sad. Magneton up 11%, 59 $59. This is really dried up. And then the one thing I do want to mention is the Enzora and the Wobbuffet. They haven't moved much price-wise, but the total amount on the market has declined a good amount. So they are starting to get acquired, if you will. So moving on to the last part of this. Again, this is the relative value calculation, and just want to make sure this is right. So this is where we take the regular ETB, divided by 9 times 11, plus the promo, and compare it to the Pokemon Center ETB. So the credit I'm right on, the regular ETB plus buying the near mint promo is much cheaper than buying the Pokemon Center ETB. Said another way, the Pokemon Center ETB has a premium to the recreation cost of the item if you were to open the item up and sell the pieces. Some crazy stuff. Obsidian, $151, over $300. Roaring Moon, Iron Valiant. This is interesting. At $138, it's only $4-5 overvalued compared to the ETB and the promo. So some opportunity there. Paldean Fates. Part of the reason why this is not higher, the regular ETB is at $227. Again, another new all-time high. And then the Mimikyu is at an all-time high. Walking Wake, Iron Leaves, Twilight. So let me talk real quick about Twilight and Surging Sparks. So there is a reprint coming for those 2 sets. Twilight shipped last week, and it is going to ship this week. It has hit all of the distributors. Surging Sparks has not. It's probably going to hit distribution the end of this week or the following week, but everything is kind of priced in. So if you look here, Twilight's actually down $21 per in the last 10 days, and Surging is down $14 in the last 10 days. So this is going to be your opportunity to buy these. And the pricing I've seen from distro on Twilight is between MSRP to a slight bit above MSRP. So not at original purchase price, generally speaking. So it's the prices aren't going to drop much, if at all, from where they're at right now. Shrouded Fable, $9 of value if you buy the Pokemon Center ETB. I would recommend that at some point. I keep buying them up, and I keep thinking I'm just going to buy a bunch of them and see what happens. I know there's a lot of them out there. There's not a whole lot listed, so we'll see what happens. Stellar Crown, there's still some value in buying Pokemon Center ETB, $5 per. Surging, definitely a premium. Same with Prismatic, definitely a premium versus regular ETB. Journey Together, there's still value in buying Pokemon Center ETB at $5. Quite honestly, I do like the set a lot. It's a sleeper set. A lot of people kind of shit on it a little bit, if you will, but it is definitely a good set. And when you're looking at relative value, this tells you the sets that it makes sense to buy a Pokemon Center ETB over the regular ETB in the promo. So the other thing of note, and I don't talk about this that much, the PSA 10 version of all of these promos has gone through the roof. There's the Petron is the only one that has anything listed sub $200 at this point. Then there's a handful of Teal Masco coupons from Twilight, a handful of knockdowns from Stellar Crown, and then you get the $300, and then you see some of the Mimikyus that should be a little bit higher, some of the Iron Bundles, and some of the lesser, demanded promos. So anyway, guys, keep an eye on this. These are really starting to dry up. My concern / my prediction is every single one of these is going to take a step up, at least the older ones, from Prismatic and prior, probably journey together over the next month or two as people start to refocus on Pokemon. And, with Stellar Crown, with Sword and Shield boxes going nuts and Scarlet Violet boxes going nuts, these Pokemon Center ETBs they're just going to go to another level. And it is what it is. If you didn't believe in them and you missed out, that's okay. There's plenty of opportunity out there, otherwise known as Stellar Crown. I do want to mention, just real quick before we stop, the Salamence and Reshiram EX box that is coming out through distribution has 10 packs of Surging Sparks and 10 packs of Destined Rivals. There are a lot of these coming out, I believe. If you're looking for a sealed product for those two sets, which are probably going to be the two best regular sets, obviously ignoring 151, Paldea, Prismatic, in the era, I would target these at release. And I think they release October 10th, October 11th, something like that, because there's going to be a lot of them dumped on the market, no different than the Teal Masco coupon ones. And if they're coming out on the market at $60, $65, maybe even a little bit less, for 10 packs of those two sets, it's an absolute screaming buy. Again, in my opinion. So, anyway, guys, like the video, subscribe, join the Discord. We do have Mega Evolution sales starting. We'll probably start the premium exclusive stuff this week just to give everybody time to get into it. I don't have all my allocations yet, but I have enough to start moving. And then we do have schedule of the sales coming up in Elite. So anyway, guys, have a good night. We'll talk soon.